Hi, welcome back to the channel. This video is a continuation of our analysis of the book The Ego Tunnel. Today we're looking at chapter 5. So in chapter 5, Metzinger explores the phenomenon of lucid dreaming, where a dreamer is aware that they are dreaming and can sometimes control the dream. He compares the phenomenology of regular and lucid dreaming and discusses the philosophical implications of lucid dreaming for understanding consciousness and the self. So in today's video, I'm going to give you an overview of the phenomenology of regular and lucid dreaming. We're gonna stick really close to the text and we will try to extract some philosophically relevant takes from doing so. Let's get started. So I'm going to run you through a couple of statements from the text itself that should illuminate, the phenomenology of dreaming. We're going to look at dreaming first, and then we're going to look at lucid dreaming and see where the differences are. So to start off, Metzinger says, dreams are offline states, that is, global states of conscious experience in which the ego is decoupled from sensory input and unable to generate overt motor behavior. The dream tunnel not only contains the appearance of a world, but also, in most cases, creates a fully embodied, spatially extended self, moving around in a spatially extended environment. I think that is pretty commonsensical, and that's what we all tend to experience when we are dreaming. So, the virtual self, thus born, is an exclusively internal phenomenon in an even stronger sense than that of the waking self. It is immersed in a dense mesh of causal relations, all of which are internal to the brain. And I think, again, this cannot be contested since, it's scientifically proven that when you're, and it's even self-evident that when you're dreaming, you don't have sensory input, or if you do have sensory input, then it's minimal. So what you experience pretty much is being generated by the insides of your brains, so to speak. In the dream self generated inside lacks attentional agency. If you don't know what attentional agency means, I suggest you go back and watch our last video in which we deep dived into all different aspects of agency. The dream ego is much weaker than the waking ego, which is a consequence of our not having bodily and attentional agency while we are dreaming. The dreaming self is a confused thinker, severely disoriented with regards to places, times, and people's identities. I think we can all attest to that when we look at our own experiences of dreaming. Also, rarely does the dream self have such sensory experiences as pain, temperature, smell, or taste. Actually, that's quite an interesting proposition, and we should probably monitor our dreams going forward. I think what happens is we confuse emotion with sensory experiences. So our natural reaction to this statement would probably be, well, no, I do have sensations, but when you think about it, what you probably have is emotions. So you have emotions like fear, when you have a dream that you're being chased by someone or whatever, or you can have emotions such as heartbreak or whatever they might be, but you don't have sensations such as physical pain, or you don't feel cold, or hot, or you don't tend to smell things like you do in a waking state. So that makes sense too. Occasionally, the dream tunnel enables the ego to access information about itself that is unavailable during the waking state, which of course is testament to the whole psychological meaning of dream interpretation. And I'm not referring to Freud here, but I'm referring to Carl Jung's work that suggested that the dream state, or actually being able to remember your dreams, is a helpful way to discover, or uncover, uncover unconscious tendencies and sort of make them conscious, put sort of almost like pull them up from the unconscious into the conscious mind. Most of us have weak dream recall. I consider myself lucky. I have strong dream recall, and it's actually quite fascinating when you wake up in the morning and you have your first coffee and you think about all the places you've been and all the things that you've experienced. Sometimes it's almost like a whole movie that went on. So I do this quite a lot, actually. I do write down important dreams, and then I would revisit them and not analyze them so much, but see what they want to tell me, so to speak. So dreamers are not bodily agents. Their behavior is internal simulated behavior. I guess that's true for a high percentage of dreams. I think we do have some instances where, and that those, he even mentions those in his book, where people in their sleep, in their dream states, can actually signal to scientists that are awake, that are monitoring them, that they are about to enter lucid dreaming, which was really fascinating to read about. The dream ego does not know that it is dreaming. You can have dreams in which you are not only aware of the fact that you are dreaming, but also possess a complete memory both of your dream life and your waking life, as well as the phenomenological property of agency on the levels of attention, thought, and behavior. A lucid dream is a global simulation of a world in which we suddenly become aware that it is indeed just a simulation. Now, I was thinking when I was reading this chapter, obviously I wanted to find out if I ever had lucid dreams. I don't think I had lucid dreams. But I thought about this thing that sometimes, it's almost short of being aware that you're dreaming. There are dreams in which, at least I feel, that I can make decisions. I wouldn't say they're conscious decisions, obviously, because I'm dreaming. But that's where I'm getting a little bit confused, and I'm sort of, still not clear on whether that counts as lucid dreaming or not. But I do have a lot of dreams in which I feel that I can make decisions, and hence I can alter the plot, so to speak. So in lucid dreams, autobiographical memory is fully intact. The dreamer has full access not only to past conscious experiences in waking life and in ordinary dreams, but also to previously experienced lucid dreams. Finally, and perhaps most important, the property of agency is fully realized in the lucid dream. Now, I wanted to, in order to just for my own sake, pretty much, I want to make create a juxtaposition of certain criteria and how they are either fulfilled or not in both dreaming and lucid dreaming. So I created a simple table that I want to show you next. And it just sort of summarizes what's happening in either of the two states. So when we think about having access to short or long-term memory, regular dreaming does give us none to limited access, whereas lucid dreaming does pretty much give us access to both, apparently. And with regards to attentional agency, regular dreaming has none to low, and in lucid dreaming you do happen to have attentional agency, so you can steer your attention towards things and steer actually the plot of the actual dream. Awareness of the dream state, that's a no-brainer. In normal dreams it's absent, and you do have such awareness in lucid dreaming. Access to autobiographical memory in regular dreams is limited or absent to limited, and apparently it is accessible in lucid dreaming. Motor control, we talked about that, we touched upon that, typically absent to low in regular dreaming and accessible in lucid dreaming. And experience of an embodied self, this can vary in regular dreaming, and it is more pronounced in lucid dreaming. So let's try and sum this up. What is lucid dreaming about, and how can it inform us? I see 4 aspects that are being illuminated by lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming demonstrates the flexibility and constructiveness of consciousness, as dreamers experience a form of awareness in lucid dreaming that is different from waking consciousness. Consciousness is like the stage upon which the drama of our thoughts, feelings, and perspectives play out. Lucid dreaming, as much as any neuropathological condition, shows us that this stage is not fixed, it can change, and this reveals the creative and dynamic nature of our minds. Imagine watching a movie where you suddenly become aware that you're watching it and you can change the plot. This awareness is similar to what happens in a lucid dream, and it reflects the adaptable nature of our consciousness. In lucid dreams, the sense of self and control are malleable. This gives us insights into how our perceptions of agency and identity are constructed. Lucid dreaming allows you to control your actions within the dream. This raises questions about how we perceive control and identity. Are we directing the dream, or is our sense of control an illusion? And how much is it an illusion in waking life? Consider playing a video game where you control a character. You can make decisions and alter the character's path, but you're aware it's within the game's world. Similarly, in a lucid dream, you can control the dream while being aware that it is a dream. Lucid dreaming blurs the lines between dream and reality. It makes us question how we perceive reality and what constitutes a real, quote-unquote, real experience in the first place. Lucid dreaming makes us question the nature of reality because the dream feels real until we recognize it's a dream. This challenges our understanding of what real means. Think about when you're watching a 3D movie with 3D glasses on. It looks different and sometimes strange. This is comparable to a lucid dream where your perception shifts, making you question the reality of your perceived surroundings, just like the altered view you have in a 3D movie experience. Lucid dreaming exemplifies the idea of the ego tunnel. It demonstrates that our sense of reality is a mental construct formed primarily by our brains. Metzinger's concept of the ego tunnel suggests that our experience of reality is a mental model created by the brain, much like a tunnel through which we view the world. Lucid dreaming highlights how this tunnel can change and adapt depending on different states of consciousness. Picture looking through a kaleidoscope where colourful patterns shift with each twist. The kaleidoscope represents your mind's model of reality, constantly changing, similar to how lucid dreaming demonstrates the malleable nature of our perceived world. By studying phenomena like lucid dreaming, we can gain a better understanding of the construction of the self and the workings of the conscious mind. Such phenomena can further inform the concept of the ego tunnel and our brain's model of reality, which in turn shapes our perception.